Before we begin this night prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video so you can return to this quiet whenever you need it. God, my mind is restless. The day has ended, but it hasn't let go of me. Every moment replays itself. Every word echoes louder in the silence. Every fear of tomorrow creeps in like shadows on the walls. I lie here in the stillness, yet inside I am anything but still. My chest is tight, my thoughts are tangled, and I don't know how to quiet them on my own. I bring you the noise that fuels me, the racing thoughts that tell me I should have done more, said less, been stronger, been better. I bring you the worries about tomorrow, the questions I cannot answer, the pressure I cannot carry. I bring you the memories I cannot shake, the pain I cannot name, the fears I cannot calm. I lay them here, one by one, because I have no strength left to hold them. I don't ask for every answer tonight. I don't ask for perfection. I only ask for peace, enough to close my eyes without fear, enough to rest without the weight of the day pressing down on me. I am tired of running circles in my head. I am tired of bracing for things that haven't even happened. I am tired of trying to control what was never mine to control. Help me slow my breath. Help me feel the rise and fall of my chest, the steady rhythm I forget to notice. Help me release the tension in my shoulders, the grip in my hands, the heaviness in my heart. Teach me how to rest when everything in me wants to keep moving, keep fixing, keep holding on. The quiet around me feels foreign at first. It feels unnatural, not to be solving something, not to be chasing answers. But slowly, I begin to sense it, the presence that has been here all along, steady and patient. It does not demand that I earn peace. It offers it freely. It does not wait until I have it all together. It meets me in my unraveling. God, calm my racing mind. Slow the thoughts that come too fast to catch. Quiet the questions that have no answers. Remind me that it is okay not to know, not to solve, not to understand everything right now. Remind me that you are here, and that is enough. As I breathe, I feel the weight begin to shift. Not gone, not erased, but lighter, as if I am no longer carrying it alone. I imagine placing every burden into your hands, one by one, until mine are finally empty. There is relief in that emptiness. There is freedom in surrender. The darkness is not so heavy now. The silence is not so sharp. The night feels softer, safer, like a blanket instead of a cage. I can rest here. I can trust here. Even if tomorrow brings the same battles, I will not face them alone. I am still here, God, breathing in this quiet, feeling the weight in me shift little by little. The thoughts still rise, but softer now. They drift instead of crashing. They no longer demand my full attention. And for the first time today, I can notice the simple things, the stillness in the room, the way the air feels cool against my face, the comfort of being held by this moment instead of running ahead into tomorrow. I give you the regrets that keep circling back, the words I wish I could take back, the moments I replay over and over, wondering how I could have done them differently. I give you the endless what-ifs that exhaust me. What if I fail? What if I fall short? What if I am not enough? I give you the heavy expectations I place on myself, the weight I was never meant to carry. I do not know how to stop the racing thoughts. I do not know how to silence them on my own. But I do know this: I do not have to fight them alone. You are here in this quiet, steady, and patient, waiting for me to let go. I choose, right now, to release what I cannot control. The future that feels uncertain, the people I cannot fix, the outcomes I cannot predict. I choose to trust you with what is beyond me. I choose to breathe instead of brace. I choose to rest instead of run. This silence begins to feel like shelter. Not empty, not threatening, but protective. The darkness no longer feels like something pressing in, but something wrapping around me. A safe place where I do not have to perform or prove anything. A safe place where I can simply be tired, human, honest. God, calm my racing mind. Quiet the noise that keeps me from sleep. Slow the spiral that pulls me out of peace. Remind me that rest is holy, that stillness is not weakness, that I am allowed to lay it all down and close my eyes without guilt. The worries about tomorrow do not vanish, but they lose their grip. They no longer sit heavy on my chest. They pass like clouds across a night sky, noticed but not chased. I feel myself loosening, softening, learning a new rhythm. Inhale peace, exhale fear. I don't need to know what tomorrow will bring. I don't need to rehearse the conversations, predict the outcomes, or prepare for every possible failure. I need only to rest in this truth. I am safe. I am held. I am not alone. This quiet is enough. This moment is enough. Tonight, I rest. God, I feel the shift within me. It's quiet, almost hidden, but it's real. The weight that clung to my chest is not as heavy. The thoughts that ran wild in my head are still present, yet they do not control me the way they did before. There is space now, room to breathe, room to rest. To give you what remains. The fears that linger at the edges of my mind, the memories that return uninvited, the questions I cannot answer, I give them one by one. Not because I have the strength to let them go perfectly, but because I cannot hold them anymore. My hands were never meant to hold so much. My heart was never meant to carry everything alone. I choose to trust you with what I cannot change. The things I regret, the words I cannot unsay, the moments I cannot undo. I choose to trust you with tomorrow, the plans that may fall apart, the things I cannot predict, the uncertainties that feel endless. I choose to rest here in this night, in this moment, in the quiet you've given me. The silence feels alive now. It no longer presses against me. It holds me. It feels like being wrapped in something unseen yet certain. The hum of the world outside, faint wind, distant creaks, soft echoes of life beyond these walls, becomes part of the lullaby that carries me deeper into stillness. My breathing slows without effort. Inhale, peace enters. Exhale, fear leaves. My body sinks heavier into the bed, every muscle loosening its grip. My jaw unclenches. My shoulders drop. My hands rest open. I am safe enough to let go. I no longer fight the thoughts when they come. I notice them and let them drift past like clouds across the night sky. I do not chase them, do not cling to them, do not fear them. They are simply passing, and I am learning how to remain still while they move on. God, calm my racing mind. Remind me that I do not have to hold everything together. Remind me that I am allowed to stop striving, to stop bracing, to stop replaying every moment in search of peace. Remind me that peace does not come from solving everything, but from trusting that I do not face it alone. God, I am learning to rest here. I am learning to trust that the quiet will hold me even when my thoughts return. I am learning that I do not have to fix the chaos in order to sleep. I do not have to understand everything in order to feel safe. I can simply lay here, breathing, and let your presence be enough for tonight. I bring you the weight I still feel, the silent fears I do not speak out loud, the questions I keep buried, the doubts that rise when the night stretches long. I do not hide them from you. I lay them bare in the stillness, trusting that you already know them and hold them more gently than I ever could. The noise in my head softens as I release each piece. The regrets about what I cannot change, the anxiety about what is to come, the pressure I put on myself to do more, be more, fix more, they begin to lose their hold. My heart loosens its grip on what was never mine to control. The darkness around me no longer feels like emptiness. It feels like shelter. The faint light that slips through the window outlines familiar shapes. The soft curve of the blanket, the quiet line of the wall, the stillness of the space I rest in. These ordinary things remind me that I am safe, that I am here, that this moment is enough. My breathing flows steadily. Inhale, release the day. Exhale, welcome the night. The rhythm anchors me when my mind wants to wander. It reminds me that peace can be found in something as simple as a single breath. I do not know what tomorrow will hold. I do not know how every problem will be solved or every question answered. But I know this: I do not have to face it alone. I do not have to carry it all through the night. I can rest now. I am safe now. The stillness grows deeper. The thoughts still appear, but they pass more quickly. They do not demand my attention. They do not define me. I am more than my racing mind. I am more than my fears. I am held in something stronger than both. God, I feel the quiet settling deeper now. It does not mean my thoughts have vanished, but they have softened. They come and go without holding me captive. They appear at the edges and then fade away, leaving room, rest. This stillness is new, but I welcome it. I need it more than I realized. I bring you what remains heavy. The parts of today that still echo in my mind, the words I replay, the choices I question, the moments I wish I could rewrite. I bring you the fear of tomorrow, the uncertainty, the things I cannot control, the outcomes I cannot predict. I place them here because I cannot carry them into the night any longer. I'm tired of running circles in my head, tired of rehearsing what might go wrong, tired of bracing for problems that have not come. Tonight, I choose something different. Tonight, I choose to breathe, to release, to trust that I do not have to hold it all. The quiet feels safe now. The darkness no longer presses against me. It surrounds me like a soft blanket. The faint hum of the night, the whisper of wind, the gentle creak of the house, the distant stillness outside becomes a lullaby. These sounds do not disturb me. They comfort me. They remind me that life continues quietly around me, and I am allowed to rest in the middle of it. My breathing has found its rhythm. Inhale, peace. Exhale, release. Each cycle carries me deeper into stillness. My muscles loosen. My chest lightens. My hands rest open. My body knows what my mind is still learning, that it is safe to let go. I do not need to solve everything tonight. I do not need to have every answer. I do not need to be strong enough to hold it all. I only need this to rest in this quiet, to trust that I am held, to remember that I am not alone. The night does not ask for perfection. It asks for surrender. It offers stillness, not because everything is fixed, but because I am safe to lay it down for now. The quiet feels different now. Not empty, not heavy, just present. The night holds you instead of swallowing you. The thoughts that once rushed through your mind have slowed, not gone, but softer. Each breath feels deeper than the last, carrying you further from the chaos you started with. Tonight, something shifts. You realize safety might not come from having every answer. It might come from trusting that you don't need to. The darkness around you isn't threatening anymore. It's soft, almost protective. You close your eyes. The racing thoughts try to spark again, but they don't last as long this time. They fade like echoes instead of storms, and in their place, there's space, quiet, steady, enough to rest. Imagine this now. A gentle light glows ahead, not blinding, but warm. It calls you forward without words. You walk slowly toward it, each step lighter than the last, until you reach a small wooden bench beneath an ancient tree. The tree's branches stretch wide like open arms, leaves whispering softly in the breeze. You sit down and feel the weight in your hands grow still. There's no command to let it go, no voice rushing you, just presence. Quiet, patient, waiting. You take a deep breath and set the bundle at your feet. For the first time, you notice the relief in your shoulders, the ease in your chest. The bundle doesn't vanish, but it's no longer pressed against you. You are free enough to breathe. Ensues. The scene fades, but the feeling stays. You're back in your room, lying still in the quiet, but lighter somehow. The thoughts are still there, faint echoes at the edges of your mind, but they no longer clamor for your attention. You've given them somewhere to rest other than your own heart. Your body knows the difference. Muscles that were tense are loose now. Breathing that was shallow flows deep and slow. Even your mind, still aware of everything, holds it more gently. Not clinging, not spinning, simply allowing. Peace doesn't arrive loudly. It seeps in, quiet and steady, until you realize you've been breathing easier for a while. And tonight, that peace is enough. The night feels softer now, as if the air itself has exhaled with you. The quiet is no longer something to fear, but something to welcome, an open space where your soul can finally rest. The thoughts that once felt like tangled wires have begun to loosen. They're still present, but they no longer define the rhythm of this moment. You lie still, wrapped in the gentle weight of the blanket, and notice how your body is finally catching up to what your heart has longed for. Your breathing is slow and steady. Your hands rest open, uncurled from the fists they once formed. Even your mind, though not silent, is quieter, less demanding. For the first time in what feels like forever, rest feels possible. You think about how often you've wished for this, not perfection, not answers, just peace enough to close your eyes without fear. You've carried so much, tried so hard to control what you couldn't, replayed every what if until you couldn't breathe. And yet here you are, softer now, learning that surrender is not weakness, but the first step toward healing. The darkness around you is no longer heavy. It feels like shelter, like quiet arms holding you steady. The faint hum of life outside, distant wind, soft creaks in the walls, the low rhythm of the night becomes a comfort rather than a trigger. These small sounds remind you that the world continues even while you rest, and that it's safe to let go for a while. Peace doesn't erase the chaos overnight, but it teaches you how to live gently within it. It reminds you that you don't have to fight every thought, solve every problem, or predict every outcome before morning. You only have to breathe, trust, and rest, knowing you are not alone in the quiet. As you drift closer to sleep, you realize something profound. Calm isn't the absence of thought. It's the presence of peace, stronger than the noise. And tonight, that peace has found you. The deeper you sink into this quiet, the more you notice how different it feels from the noise you carried earlier. The storm of thoughts hasn't disappeared completely, but its grip has loosened. What once felt urgent now feels distant, like echoes fading into the background. Your body understands this calm before your mind does. Shoulders that once braced against invisible weight are resting. Breathing that once rushed now flows slow and steady. Even your heartbeat, once racing, has found a gentle rhythm. These shifts are small, but they're proof peace is growing here, little by little. You begin to see the pattern in your thoughts, how they circle around worries you can't control, how they replay moments you can't change, how they imagine futures that haven't happened. And in seeing the pattern, you find freedom. You realize you don't have to follow every path your mind creates. You can notice a thought, breathe, and let it pass without holding on. The room is still, but alive in its own quiet way. The faint hum of the night carries through the walls, distant wind, soft creaks, a rhythm of life continuing even when you stop striving. These subtle sounds remind you that you are safe here, safe enough to let go of control, safe enough to rest. Peace doesn't come all at once. It comes in moments like this, noticing the quiet, choosing not to chase the noise, allowing presence to hold you while you soften into rest. Tonight, you are learning that trust isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, unforced. And as you breathe into this truth, you feel sleep drawing closer, gentle, patient, waiting to meet you when you're ready to surrender fully to the night. There is a moment, somewhere between wakefulness and sleep, where everything softens. The worries that felt urgent begin to fade. The thoughts that chased each other quiet their pace. It doesn't happen suddenly, it's gradual, like dusk melting into night, one shade at a time. Tonight, you're finding that place, the space where peace begins to settle deeper than the noise. Your breathing is steady now. Each inhale draws in cool air. Each exhale releases what you no longer need to hold. The tension in your shoulders has loosened. Your jaw, once tight, rests softly. Even your hands, once clenched, now lie open on the blanket. Small signals that your body is learning it's safe to rest. Your mind, though not silent, feels lighter. Thoughts still rise, but they no longer grip you. They pass like clouds, noticed, but not chased. You begin to trust that you don't have to follow every thought, answer every question, or solve every problem before you sleep. Some things can wait for morning. Some things can be carried by hands stronger than yours. The night around you hums with quiet life. The faint rustle of leaves outside, distant traffic far enough to sound like a lullaby. The creak of wood as the house settles deeper into stillness. Each sound grounds you further in the present moment, pulling you away from everything that once felt overwhelming. You realize something important. Calm doesn't mean the absence of thoughts. It means the presence of peace, stronger than the noise. And tonight, that peace is here, steady, patient, waiting for you to rest into it fully. The night stretches quiet and long, but it doesn't feel hostile anymore. The same darkness that once felt like a trap now feels like a blanket, soft and protective. You can sense how your thoughts are losing their urgency, how the loud spirals are fading into whispers you no longer need to chase. You breathe slowly, the kind of breathing that feels like sinking into water, weightless, unhurried, safe. Each inhale fills your chest with space you didn't know was missing. Each exhale releases pieces of tension you've carried all day, maybe longer. It's not forced, it's natural, like your body remembers what peace feels like even when your mind forgets. Your thoughts still wander, but they no longer control you. A worry comes, then drifts. A regret surfaces, then softens. You're beginning to understand that peace doesn't mean nothing rises. It means nothing rules you anymore. You can let the waves come and go without being pulled under. The stillness feels alive, not empty silence, but a presence that stays, patient, steady, unshaken. It doesn't ask you to hurry, doesn't demand that you fix yourself before resting. It simply stays beside you, in the quiet, reminding you that even when your mind races, you're not alone inside it. The air is cool against your skin, the blanket warm around your body. The room hums softly, faint wind outside, a quiet creak in the walls, the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat. These are small details, but they hold you here in the present, away from everything your thoughts try to drag you into. For the first time tonight, you feel the edges of sleep drawing near, not forced, not chased, simply arriving, slow and gentle, like waves against a quiet shore. The night feels different now. The silence that once felt heavy has turned into something gentler, almost like a friend sitting quietly beside you. Your breathing is steady, each inhale and exhale falling into a rhythm you didn't have to force. The thoughts are still there, but softer now, distant enough that they no longer pull you in every direction. You notice how your body has changed since you first lay down. The tightness in your chest has eased. The weight on your shoulders feels lighter. Even your jaw, clenched without you realizing it, has softened. These are small signs, but they speak loudly. You are settling, your mind is slowing, your heart is finding rest. The worries about tomorrow are still waiting, but they no longer demand your attention. You realize now that most of them don't need solving tonight. They can wait for the light of morning, and even then, you won't face them alone. That quiet assurance makes the darkness less intimidating. You let the stillness fill the spaces where chaos once lived. It's not perfect. Stray thoughts still try to return, but they don't stay as long. They drift in and out like passing clouds, leaving behind stretches of clear sky. And in those clear stretches, peace takes root. You whisper softly, not because you need to be heard, but because speaking it helps you believe it. I don't have to carry everything. I don't have to solve it all tonight. I am safe to rest. I am safe to let go. The night hums gently around you. Faint wind outside, soft creaks in the house. The steady beat of your own heart. These sounds, once unnoticed, now feel like a lullaby. They remind you of something simple but profound. Rest is possible, even here, even now. There's a quiet strength in this moment, not loud or dramatic, but steady, like a soft current beneath still water. The thoughts that once shouted over everything are now only faint murmurs at the edges of your mind. They come and go, but they no longer hold the same weight. You can feel them without being carried away by them. Your breathing is calm, each inhale a gentle invitation, each exhale a release. The rise and fall of your chest feels natural, no longer forced. You notice how the body knows what the mind forgets, how to rest, how to slow down, how to find balance in silence. The worries about tomorrow feel smaller now. They haven't vanished, but they've lost their urgency. You understand that you don't need to fix everything tonight. The night isn't asking you for answers. It's offering you rest, and rest is what you've needed all along. The quiet around you feels alive. The faint rustle of wind outside, the creak of wood as the house settles, the soft hum of distant sounds, they form a backdrop to your stillness. Instead of pulling you back into anxiety, they anchor you here, in this present moment where you are safe. You whisper gently, "Thank you for sitting with me in this quiet. Thank you for not rushing me, not expecting me to be perfect, not turning away when my thoughts are loud. Thank you for meeting me here, again and again, until I finally find peace." There's no sudden shift, no lightning bolt of clarity. Just a gradual softening, thoughts fading into whispers, body sinking deeper into rest, heart finally trusting that it doesn't have to fight tonight. The stillness has settled in now, quiet and steady, wrapping around you like a soft blanket. The racing thoughts that once felt relentless are fewer, and the ones that remain no longer feel so urgent. They pass gently through, leaving room for silence to grow. Your body knows this shift. Muscles that held tension for so long are loose. Breathing that once felt shallow flows deep and unhurried. Even your heartbeat has found a calmer rhythm. It's not that every worry has disappeared, but they no longer define this moment. This moment belongs to peace. You realize how much energy you've spent fighting what you couldn't control. The endless cycles of what if and if only have drained you more than the challenges themselves. But in this quiet, you discover something different. You don't have to chase every thought. You don't have to hold everything together. You are allowed to rest even when life isn't fixed. The darkness around you is soft. Moonlight filters faintly through the window, outlining familiar shapes in the room, the corner of a chair, the edge of a curtain, the quiet curve of the blanket around you. These small, ordinary details ground you, reminding you that safety isn't found in solving everything, but in being here, breathing, alive. The words don't fix everything, but they free you. You feel lighter, not because the weight is gone, but because you're no longer carrying it alone. The night no longer feels endless. It feels like a place to rest, a shelter rather than a storm. The thoughts that once ran wild have slowed to a gentle drift, like leaves floating downstream. They still exist, but they no longer control you. Your breathing is slow and even. With every inhale, you take in the quiet around you. With every exhale, you release what no longer belongs in this moment. The steady rhythm anchors you here, pulling you away from the noise of yesterday and tomorrow, holding you gently in the present. You notice how light your body feels now. Shoulders once tight are soft against the mattress. Hands that clutched at nothing now rest open. The weight you've carried so long is lighter, not because it vanished, but because you finally set it down for the night. The room hums softly with the sounds of a world at rest, faint wind outside, the creak of the house as it settles, distant night noises that no longer startle you. These sounds, once overlooked, now feel comforting, proof that life continues quietly even while you sleep. God, I feel how quiet has settled inside me tonight, and yet I know there are corners of my heart still holding tightly to fears I have not named. Even as my breathing slows and my body begins to rest, there are thoughts that linger like shadows at the edge of light. I bring those to you now. I give you the heaviness of this day, the weight of moments I cannot change, the regret of words I cannot take back, the exhaustion from carrying more than I was meant to bear. This night is a gift I want to receive fully, not a punishment, not a silence that mocks me, but a shelter I can enter without fear. I ask you to teach me how to rest here. Teach me how to stop rehearsing everything I could have done differently. Teach me how to stop bracing for everything that might go wrong. Teach me how to be still, not because the world is fixed, but because I trust that I am held. I feel the rhythm of my breath begin to steady again. Inhale, release the noise. Exhale, welcome the quiet. My body responds to this rhythm like it knows what to do, like it remembers that rest is holy. My shoulders loosen against the bed. The tension in my chest softens. My hands, which have been clinging so tightly, finally begin to open. I have carried enough for one day. I do not have to fight these thoughts into silence. I only have to let them pass. They rise and fall like waves against the shore, present but not permanent. I can watch them come and go without following them into the dark places they lead. This is what freedom feels like, not the absence of thought, but the loss of its power over me. The night hums softly around me. I hear the faint wind outside, the stillness of walls that have heard everything yet hold no judgment, the quiet sounds of a world that has slowed. These sounds comfort me. They remind me that life continues even in silence, and that I am allowed to pause, to breathe, to exist without doing more. I do not ask you to erase my memories or take away every fear. I ask for something deeper, to trust that even if the memories remain and the fears linger, I will still be okay, that I can rest even in imperfection, that I can find peace even when the answers never come. God, calm my racing mind. Quiet what still stirs in me. Replace the chaos with steady presence. Replace the heaviness with a gentle assurance that I do not have to carry this alone. I give you every anxious thought, every restless fear, every hidden ache I am too tired to name. Hold them for me tonight. Let me rest in the space your peace creates. I know morning will bring what it brings, challenges, joys, uncertainties. But tonight, I choose to trust that I do not have to prepare for all of it. I do not have to brace myself for what I cannot predict. I can sleep, not because the future is clear, but because you are near. God, I notice how different the night feels now compared to when it first began. The silence that once felt heavy has softened into something steady and kind. The thoughts that used to crash like waves have become gentle currents, moving without force, passing without pulling me. There is space here now, space to rest, space to breathe, space to simply be. I give you what remains unsettled in me. The questions that still whisper in the back of my mind, the memories that try to return when I close my eyes, the quiet ache of things I wish were different but cannot change. I place them in your care, trusting that I do not need to solve them tonight. The room around me feels like a shelter. The faint glow of moonlight softens the darkness, turning it into something safe rather than frightening. The stillness is no longer empty. It is full of quiet presence. It holds me without asking me to be more than I am. My breathing has become a rhythm I can lean on. Inhale, peace. Exhale, release. Each breath reminds me that rest is not something I have to earn. It is something I am allowed to receive. My body listens to this rhythm and begins to loosen, settling deeper into the comfort of this moment. I do not have to rehearse tomorrow in my mind. I do not have to carry every scenario, every possibility, every outcome. I can let tomorrow wait for the morning. I can let this moment be enough. God, calm my racing mind. Quiet the last pieces of noise that linger in me. Let this stillness soak into every part of me until even the hidden corners of my heart find rest. Let me sleep without fear, without striving, without the weight of what I cannot control. The night hums gently outside, soft wind against the window, distant sounds of life continuing beyond these walls. These noises no longer unsettle me, they ground me. They remind me that the world moves gently forward and I do not need to keep up with it tonight. I am allowed to stop. I am allowed to rest. I trust that when morning comes, I will have the strength I need for what awaits me. But I do not need that strength now. I only need this, the quiet gift of rest, the steady presence that meets me in the dark and stays with me until light returns. This moment is enough. This quiet is enough. I am safe here. God, the stillness of this night feels deeper than before. My mind, which once spun with endless thoughts, is slower now, softer now. The fears that chased me have grown quiet at the edges. They're still there, but they no longer shout. I rest in this gentle quiet, letting it hold me, letting it teach me how to breathe without urgency. I bring you what remains, the small anxieties that hide beneath the surface, the subtle tensions I do not always notice until I lie here in silence, the doubts that rise when everything else grows still. I do not want to ignore them, and I do not want to be consumed by them. I place them in your hands, trusting that you know what to do with them far better than I do. The darkness in the room no longer feels like a threat. It feels like cover, like a shield from everything loud and heavy beyond these walls. The soft light filtering from outside is enough to remind me that I am safe, enough to remind me that even in darkness, there is always some trace of light. My breathing deepens again. Inhale. Take in this peace. Exhale. Release what weighs me down. The rhythm soothes me more than any thought could. It draws me out of the spiral and anchors me to the present, to this moment where I do not need to achieve or prove anything. I do not have to understand every feeling to rest. I do not have to resolve every problem to find quiet. Rest is possible, even here, even now, even with questions unanswered and fears unresolved. This is the miracle I keep forgetting, that peace can coexist with uncertainty. God, calm my racing mind. Let this stillness reach deeper than my thoughts, deeper than my heartbeat, into the places where I hold the most tension. Let your peace cover the memories I cannot forget, the worries I cannot fix, the future I cannot see. I give them all to you again, because I cannot keep carrying them alone. The night around me is alive in its own quiet way. The faint wind against the window, the distant hum of life outside, the silence of walls that stand unmoving, all of it forms a kind of lullaby, reminding me that I am small, and that being small is safe. I do not have to hold the whole world together. I do not have to keep spinning to survive. I rest here, breathing in the truth that I am not alone, breathing out the weight that has been pressing on me for too long. Each breath carries me deeper into calm, deeper into trust, deeper into the kind of rest I thought I had forgotten how to find. Tonight, I choose this, not control, not certainty, not answers, but trust. Trust that I can let go. Trust that I am safe. Trust that the quiet will hold me until morning. The stillness feels natural now, like it was always waiting beneath the noise. What once felt unreachable. A quiet mind, a steady heart, is slowly becoming familiar. The thoughts still appear, but they pass like ripples on water, soft and harmless. They no longer pull you under. Your body mirrors this shift. Every muscle has eased into the bed, heavy in the best way, not from exhaustion, but from release. Your breathing is deep, almost effortless. Each inhale feels like drawing in calm. Each exhale feels like laying down one more burden you no longer need to carry. You think about how far you've come since the start of this night, from the chaos of racing thoughts to this quiet, steady rhythm. It didn't happen through force. It happened through letting go, through trusting you didn't need to fix everything before resting. This is the kind of peace you never thought possible. Yet here it is, holding you gently. The darkness in the room isn't threatening, it's soft. Moonlight filters faintly through the curtains, brushing light across familiar shapes. The window frame, the folds of the blanket, the quiet outline of the space you rest in. Everything feels calmer, even the air itself. The words don't need answers. The silence that follows is enough. The stillness speaks in ways words never could. Steady, patient, reminding you that you are safe, held, and free to rest. The night feels softer than it did before. The racing thoughts that once filled every corner of your mind have quieted into background murmurs, gentle enough to fade in and out without pulling you away from rest. This quiet didn't come all at once. It arrived slowly, almost unnoticed, until you realized the weight had shifted. Your breathing carries a steady rhythm now. Inhale, space. Exhale, release. With each cycle, your body sinks deeper into the safety of this moment. The tension you've been holding for days, maybe weeks, slips away bit by bit until only calm remains. You begin to see how much energy it has taken to live in constant overthinking. The endless need to prepare, to predict, to fix what hasn't even happened yet. It has exhausted you more than the circumstances themselves. Tonight you finally allow yourself permission to stop, to trust, to rest. The room around you hums with quiet life, soft wind brushing against the window, faint creaks of wood, distant sounds too gentle to disturb you. These details remind you of something simple. The world continues, even while you rest. You don't have to carry everything through the night. The thoughts still rise now and then, but they no longer demand your full attention. They drift in like passing clouds and dissolve just as quietly. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to fight them. You've learned that peace isn't about silence. It's about presence stronger than the noise. You whisper softly, as if reminding yourself, I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to release. I am safe here. And as those words linger in the quiet, your body sinks deeper into calm, closer to the rest you've been longing for. The calm you feel now is not the absence of thought, but the presence of something steadier. The mind still moves, but slower, softer, less urgent. The noise that once felt unbearable has faded into a quiet hum, like distant waves you no longer fear will pull you under. Your breathing is slow and deep. With each inhale, you gather what remains heavy. With each exhale, you release a little more of it into the night. The rhythm feels natural now, not something you're forcing, but something your body has remembered, the way it's meant to rest when it finally feels safe. The darkness around you has shifted too. It's no longer a void you're trapped in, but a shelter that wraps you gently. Faint moonlight softens the edges of the room, the outline of the window, the curve of the blanket, the shadows stretching across the floor. These quiet shapes remind you that you're here, alive, breathing, held. The thoughts that return do so faintly, like whispers you no longer chase. Regrets about the past, worries about tomorrow, questions with no answers. They still pass through, but they don't stay. You've learned to let them move without giving them your entire heart. You whisper softly, barely more than a breath. I don't need to solve everything tonight. I don't need to control what tomorrow brings. I only need to rest in this moment, trusting that I am not alone in it. And as the night deepens, so does the peace. It's subtle, almost invisible, but undeniable. A quiet strength that settles deeper with every breath you take. The quiet has become familiar now. It no longer feels like something you're waiting for. It feels like something you've entered. The edges of your thoughts have softened, and even when worries rise, they don't grip as tightly as before. There's room for silence to breathe between them, room for rest to slip in unnoticed. Your body responds to this shift without needing permission. Shoulders are loose against the bed. Hands rest easily by your sides. The rise and fall of your chest is steady and calm. It feels as though every muscle understands it's safe now. You don't need to brace yourself anymore. The night outside hums softly, a mix of faint wind and distant sounds of life you no longer feel compelled to analyze. The world continues beyond your window, but you are allowed to pause, to step away from the noise of it all. Here, in this small space, there is no pressure to perform, no need to solve anything. There is only rest. You think about the times you've begged for peace, wondering if it would ever come. You realize now it didn't arrive as you expected, not loud, not dramatic, but quiet, patient, unforced. It crept in slowly, like dawn touching the horizon, long before the sun appears. You whisper softly into the darkness. Thank you for meeting me here. Thank you for staying through the chaos, for waiting in the quiet, for teaching me that I don't have to silence every thought to feel calm. Thank you for being the stillness I've been searching for all along. The words linger in the air, settling over you like the blanket that covers you. You close your eyes, not in escape, but in surrender, trusting that this moment of quiet is enough, trusting that peace will carry you the rest of the way to sleep. God, I feel how quiet has settled inside me tonight, and yet I know there are corners of my heart still holding tightly to fears I have not named. Even as my breathing slows and my body begins to rest, there are thoughts that linger like shadows at the edge of light. I bring those to you now. Every unspoken worry, every hidden ache, every silent question that stirs when everything else goes still. I lay them here because I no longer want to hold them alone. I give you the heaviness of this day, the weight of moments I cannot change, the regret of words I cannot take back, the exhaustion from carrying more than I was meant to bear. I give you the anxieties of tomorrow, the unknowns I cannot predict, the fears I cannot outrun, the pressure to be strong for everything and everyone. I do not know what tomorrow will look like, but I trust that you will meet me there just as you are meeting me here. This night is a gift I want to receive fully, not a punishment, not a silence that mocks me, but a shelter I can enter without fear. I ask you to teach me how to rest here. Teach me how to stop rehearsing everything I could have done differently. Teach me how to stop bracing for everything that might go wrong. Teach me how to be still, not because the world is fixed, but because I trust that I am held. I feel the rhythm of my breath begin to steady again. Inhale, release the noise. Exhale, welcome the quiet. My body responds to this rhythm like it knows what to do, like it remembers that rest is holy. My shoulders loosen against the bed. The tension in my chest softens. My hands, which have been clinging so tightly, finally begin to open. I have carried enough for one day. I do not have to fight these thoughts into silence. I only have to let them pass. They rise and fall like waves against the shore, present but not permanent. I can watch them come and go without following them into the dark places they lead. This is what freedom feels like. Not the absence of thought, but the loss of its power over me. The night hums softly around me. I hear the faint wind outside, the stillness of walls that have heard everything yet hold no judgment. The quiet sounds of a world that has slowed. These sounds comfort me. They remind me that life continues even in silence, and that I am allowed to pause, to breathe, to exist without doing more. I do not ask you to erase my memories or take away every fear. I ask for something deeper, to trust that even if the memories remain and the fears linger, I will still be okay, that I can rest even in imperfection, that I can find peace even when the answers never come. God, calm my racing mind, quiet what still stirs in me, replace the chaos with steady presence. Replace the heaviness with a gentle assurance that I do not have to carry this alone. I give you every anxious thought, every restless fear, every hidden ache I am too tired to name. Hold them for me tonight. Let me rest in the space your peace creates. I know morning will bring what it brings, challenges, joys, uncertainties. But tonight, I choose to trust that I do not have to prepare for all of it. I do not have to brace myself for what I cannot predict. I can sleep, not because the future is clear, but because you are near. That is enough. This quiet is enough. This breath is enough. This moment is enough. God, the stillness of this night feels deeper than before. My mind, which once spun with endless thoughts, is slower now, softer now. The fears that chased me have grown quiet at the edges. They are still there, but they no longer shout. I rest in this gentle quiet, letting it hold me, letting it teach me how to breathe without urgency. I bring you what remains. The small anxieties that hide beneath the surface, the subtle tensions I do not always notice until I lie here in silence, the doubts that rise when everything else grows still. I do not want to ignore them, and I do not want to be consumed by them. I place them in your hands, trusting that you know what to do with them far better than I do. My breathing deepens again. Inhale, take in this peace. Exhale, release what weighs me down. The rhythm soothes me more than any thought could. It draws me out of the spiral and anchors me to the present, to this moment, where I do not need to achieve or prove anything. I do not have to understand every feeling to rest. I do not have to resolve every problem to find quiet. Rest is possible even here, even now, even with questions answered and fears unresolved. This is the miracle I keep forgetting, that peace can coexist with uncertainty. God, calm my racing mind. Let this stillness reach deeper than my thoughts, deeper than my heartbeat, into the places where I hold the most tension. Let your peace cover the memories I cannot forget, the worries I cannot fix, the future I cannot see. The night around me is alive in its own quiet way. The faint wind against the window, the distant hum of life outside, the silence of walls that stand unmoving. All of it forms a kind of lullaby, reminding me that I am small and that being small is safe. I do not have to hold the whole world together. I do not have to keep spinning to survive. I rest here, breathing in the truth that I am not alone, breathing out the weight that has been pressing on me for too long. Each breath carries me deeper into calm, deeper into trust, deeper into the kind of rest I thought I had forgotten how to find. Tonight, I choose this, not control, not certainty, not answers, but trust. Trust that I can let go. Trust that I am safe. Trust that the quiet will hold me until morning. The quiet tonight feels almost unfamiliar in how gentle it has become. I remember how loud my mind was when I first lay down. The endless loops of thought, the pressure of unspoken fears, the heavy weight of everything I could not fix. That noise has softened now. It is still present at the edges, but it no longer holds me hostage. There is room here for peace. There is room here for rest. I give you what remains unsettled, the smallest worries that still hover, the lingering doubts that rise in the stillness, the traces of heaviness I cannot name. I do not want to cling to them anymore. I place them in your hands, trusting that I am safe to let go. My breathing has found a calm rhythm. Inhale, peace fills me. Exhale, burdens release. With each breath I sink deeper into stillness. My body responds naturally, loosening muscles that held tension all day. My shoulders relax. My chest opens. My hands rest gently at my side. Everything about this moment says it is safe to stop striving. I do not have to solve the past tonight. I do not have to plan the future. I do not have to hold the weight of every possible outcome. I can rest knowing I am carried. I can sleep knowing I am not alone. God, calm my racing mind. Quiet every corner of thought that still tries to run. Replace the noise with a steady peace that lingers even as I close my eyes. Let this quiet reach deeper than I can understand, into the parts of me that ache for relief, into the places I rarely let anyone see. Cover them with calm. The night hums softly outside, faint wind, distant creaks, the quiet stillness of a world at rest. These sounds do not disturb me anymore. They comfort me. They remind me that life moves gently forward, even when I stop to breathe. I trust you with this night. I trust you with tomorrow. I trust that when I wake, I will be met with new strength for whatever awaits. But for now, I rest. I am safe. I am held. There is a softness to this moment that I could not feel before. The racing thoughts that began this night have slowed to gentle ripples, faint and harmless. My heart is no longer bracing for the next wave of noise. It is resting, finally, in the quiet that you have given me. This quiet does not demand anything of me. It does not require perfection or performance. It simply holds me as I am, tired, imperfect, searching for peace. I bring you the last fragments of worry still clinging to me. The small pieces of the day that replay in the background. The questions I cannot answer. The fears I cannot name. I lay them here because I do not want to carry even a trace of them into my rest. I want my soul to feel as still as this room, as steady as this breath, as quiet as this night. The darkness around me feels different now. It is not something I fight. It is something that covers me like a gentle blanket, sheltering me from the weight of the world outside. The faint moonlight softens every edge, turning shadows into something almost kind. The night no longer feels endless. It feels protective, like a pause I didn't know I needed. My breathing has become slow and deep. Each inhale feels like an embrace. Each exhale feels like release. My body understands what my mind is still learning, that it is safe to stop holding on so tightly. My shoulders rest against the bed. My jaw loosens. My hands are open. There is nothing left to prove, nothing left to fight. I do not have to prepare for tomorrow right now. I do not have to rehearse every possibility predict every outcome, or solve every problem. I am allowed to let tomorrow wait for the morning. I am allowed to trust that I will be given what I need when I need it. For now, this is enough. This quiet, this stillness, this breath. God, calm my racing mind. Quiet the thoughts that still try to surface. Let peace fill every corner of me, deeper than words, deeper than fear. Replace every restless edge with calm that lingers even as I sleep. Hold me steady in this moment until rest becomes my only focus. The world outside moves softly, unaware of my surrender here. The wind shifts against the window. The night air carries sounds that no longer disturb me. They soothe me instead. They remind me that life continues without my striving, that I do not have to hold everything together on my own. I trust you with this night. I trust you with what I cannot control. I trust that as I rest, you are still present, still steady, still holding me. And in that trust, I find the courage to close my eyes and let sleep come. God, this quiet feels like something I have longed for without knowing how to name it. My mind, once crowded with noise, has softened to a gentle hum. The fears that pressed so heavily at the start of this night are distant now, faint echoes that no longer define this moment. I rest in the stillness you've given me, not because everything is solved, but because I have finally stopped trying to solve it all myself. I bring you the last of what I hold inside, the heaviness left in my chest, the questions that linger even when I try to let them go, the weight of things I cannot fix but cannot seem to stop carrying. I set them here before you, not to ignore them, but to trust that they are safer in your hands than in mine. This darkness around me is no longer unsettling. It feels protective, almost gentle. The faint light from outside touches the edges of the room, softening everything it touches. The lines of the walls, the curve of the blanket, the shapes that once felt sharp but now seem calm. Even the silence has shifted. It is no longer heavy but peaceful, alive in its own quiet way. My breathing moves steadily, without effort. Inhale, peace fills me. Exhale, fear leaves me. Each breath feels like a prayer without words, a reminder that I am safe, that I am allowed to release what I've been holding. My shoulders rest fully against the bed now. My body is no longer tense, no longer braced for impact. I am learning to let go. I do not have to prepare for tomorrow right now. I do not have to revisit the past one more time. I do not have to be strong enough to figure it all out. I am allowed to stop striving. I am allowed to simply exist here in this stillness, trusting that this quiet is enough. God, calm my racing mind. Let peace sink into every corner of me, deeper than fear, deeper than exhaustion. Let this stillness remain, even as I drift towards sleep. Cover the memories that ache, soothe the questions that linger, and remind me that I do not face any of it alone. The night hums softly in the background. Faint wind moves against the window. The house settles into its own rhythm, quiet and steady. These small sounds no longer pull me out of rest. They anchor me in it. They remind me that life can be gentle, that not everything must be a fight. I trust you with what I cannot hold. I trust you with the things I cannot see. I trust that even as I sleep, you remain present, steady, unshaken. And in that trust, I find freedom. I find rest. A quiet feels complete now. The thoughts that once stormed through me have softened into something distant, something harmless. They pass without demanding my attention, without pulling me away from this moment. There is a gentleness here I did not expect, a calm that holds me even when I do nothing to hold it. I bring you what little remains unsettled, the faint traces of worry that linger out of habit, the hidden corners of my heart that still ache quietly in the background. I do not want to cling to them anymore. I release them into this stillness, trusting that you meet even the smallest pieces of me with patience and care. The darkness around me has changed. It no longer feels like something I have to get through. It feels like something I can rest inside. The faint moonlight softens the room, turning sharp edges into gentle lines. Shadows no longer frighten me. They remind me that light exists, even here, even now. My breathing is steady. Inhale, welcome calm. Exhale, release fear. My body, once tense and restless, has surrendered to this rhythm. My shoulders sink deeper into the bed. My hands rest open, no longer clenched. My heartbeat slows to match the stillness around me. This is what it feels like to be safe. This is what it feels like to let go. I do not have to prepare for what's ahead in this moment. I do not have to rewrite the past one more time. I do not have to hold everything together. I am allowed to rest fully, honestly, without apology. God, calm my racing mind. Let this peace settle deeper than thought, deeper than memory, deeper than fear. Let it reach the places I do not speak of, the places that ache quietly beneath the surface. Let it stay even as I drift towards sleep, covering me with the reminder that I am not alone. The night around me is soft and alive. The faint rustle of wind, the quiet sounds of a world at rest, all of it becomes part of the peace I feel now. These details do not fade into the background. They become gentle proof that life continues, steady and unhurried, even when I stop to breathe. I trust you with this night. I trust you with tomorrow. I trust you with everything I cannot hold. And as I close my eyes, I do so, knowing this truth. Peace is possible, even here, even. God, I feel the quiet like a blanket around me now. It's no longer something I reach for, it's something I am inside of. The thoughts that once ran endlessly have softened to silence, fading into the background until all that's left is stillness. This is the moment I didn't think I could reach. The moment where peace is not distant, but present, steady, real. I give you everything one last time tonight. Every fear I forgot to name. Every burden I thought was too small to mention. Every ache I tried to hold by myself. I release it all into your care, trusting that nothing is too heavy for you, nothing too hidden, nothing beyond your reach. I do not have to carry it into the night. I do not have to wake with it in the morning. The darkness in this room feels gentle now. It is not heavy. It is kind. The soft light that slips in from outside turns shadows into quiet companions. The space around me holds no threat, only calm. It feels like the world has paused long enough for me to breathe freely, to rest without defense, to exist without striving. My breathing is deep and slow. Inhale, peace enters. Exhale, fear leaves. The rhythm is steady, unforced, natural. My body trusts this calm now. My muscles, once tense and guarded, are soft and heavy. My chest is open. My hands rest quietly at my sides. My heartbeat matches the stillness. Everything in me knows it is safe to let go. I do not need to plan for tomorrow right now. I do not need to look back at yesterday. I do not need to know what is coming or how I will face it. I am allowed to rest here in this exact moment without demanding more of myself. This night is enough. This breath is enough. This peace is enough. God, calm my racing mind. Keep this stillness with me as I drift into sleep. Let it stay, even as my thoughts fade, even as my body sinks deeper into rest. Let me wake tomorrow, lighter than I was today, not because everything has changed, but because I am learning how to trust you with what I cannot control. The world outside continues quietly. Soft wind, distant stillness, life moving gently forward. It no longer feels like something I must keep up with. I am allowed to stop. I am allowed to breathe. I am allowed to rest. And as my eyes finally close, I hold on to this truth. I am not alone. I was never alone. Even in the chaos, even in the silence, even in the racing of my mind, you are here, and you are here still. This peace will carry me into the night and meet me in the morning. This quiet will stay, not because I hold on to it, but because you hold me. I am safe. I am loved. I am finally at rest. God, the stillness I feel now is deeper than I imagined possible. The noise that once filled my thoughts has faded to a distant hum, almost forgotten in the quiet of this moment. I never thought I could rest like this, not because my life is perfect, but because I finally believe I do not have to hold it all together on my own. I give you the last fragments of my worry, the pieces of fear that linger quietly, even when everything feels calm, the hidden corners of my heart that still ache in silence. I surrender them all, trusting that you can carry what I cannot, trusting that even what feels unfinished is safe with you. The darkness of this room has become a kind of refuge. The faint glow from outside softens the edges of everything. The walls, the blanket, the space I rest in. What once felt heavy now feels protective, like the world itself is giving me permission to stop. I'm allowed to breathe here. I'm allowed to rest. My breathing has settled into a slow, deep rhythm. Inhale, receive peace. Exhale, release fear. With each breath, I loosen my grip a little more. My muscles relax further into the bed. My heartbeat slows in quiet harmony with the night around me. Everything about this moment tells me I am safe. I do not need to solve tomorrow right now. I do not need to revisit today again and again. I do not need to prepare for every possibility or hold myself up by sheer will. I am free to trust that I am held even when I sleep. God, calm my racing mind. Let your peace soak into every hidden place where anxiety still hides. Let it cover every thought that tries to return. Let it stay with me, even in dreams, so that when I wake, I rise lighter than I was before. The night moves quietly beyond these walls. The soft wind against the window. The faint hum of a world that keeps turning while I rest. These gentle sounds remind me that life continues without my constant striving. I can let go because I was never meant to carry everything alone. I trust you with tonight. I trust you with tomorrow. I trust you with every part of me that longs for rest. And as I close my eyes, I know this truth. Peace is possible, even here, even now. I did not know quiet could feel this deep. The thoughts that once ran through me with so much force now drift gently, distant and light. There is still movement in my mind, but it no longer overwhelms me. It no longer controls me. This stillness is stronger than the noise ever was. I bring you the last remnants of my fear. The things I held on to, even when I said I let them go. The subtle weight that hides beneath the calm. I give you the pieces of me that are hardest to release. The ones I keep clinging to out of habit. The ones I don't know how to name. Take them from me, even the ones I cannot put into words. The night feels safe now. The darkness wraps around me like a soft cover, quiet and steady. The faint traces of moonlight touch the edges of the room, reminding me that even in the absence of answers, light still exists. The silence is not empty. It is full of presence, full of calm, full of something that holds me when I am too tired to hold myself. My breathing moves in a steady rhythm. Inhale, peace flows in. Exhale, the weight leaves me. Each breath feels like surrender, like loosening the grip I didn't realize I had kept for so long. My muscles rest easily. My hands, once clenched tight, lie open. My heartbeat slows into harmony with the stillness around me. I do not have to prepare for the future right now. I do not have to replay the past. I do not have to brace myself for what might come. I can rest in this moment exactly as it is. This night asks nothing of me but to be here, breathing, releasing, trusting. God, calm my racing mind. Quiet what still stirs. Let this peace reach every corner of me, even the hidden places I try to carry alone. Let it stay with me as I drift deeper into rest, covering me with safety that does not depend on my strength. The soft sounds outside, wind against the window, distant stillness of the night, no longer feel like background noise. They feel like part of this peace, like gentle proof that I am held in something larger than my fear. The world moves quietly forward, and I am allowed to stop. I am allowed to breathe. I am allowed to rest. I trust you with everything I cannot hold. I trust you with what I cannot see. I trust that I am not alone, not in this night, not in any night. This truth is enough to close my eyes, enough to let go, enough to sleep. I can feel how far I've come in this night. The thoughts that once raced through me are softer now, quieter now. They pass by like distant echoes rather than storms crashing through my chest. This peace does not erase everything I've carried, but it changes how I hold it. It lightens what once felt unbearable. It reminds me I was never meant to carry it alone. I bring you the last of what lingers, the hidden fears, the unspoken burdens, the quiet sadness I don't always have words for. I lay them down, one by one, in the stillness of this moment. I do not know what tomorrow will look like. I do not know how everything will unfold, but I trust that I will not face it without you. The darkness in this room feels like a soft covering now. The faint lines of moonlight that stretch across the walls remind me that even in night there is always some trace of light. This space feels safe. It asks nothing of me but honesty and rest. My breathing moves without effort. Inhale, welcome calm. Exhale, release fear. My body has learned this rhythm tonight, and it carries me deeper with every cycle. Shoulders loosen, jaw softens, hands rest open. I am unlearning the tension I've carried for too long. I do not have to replay the past tonight. I do not have to prepare for every possible future. I can rest here in this moment with no demands to solve or explain. Peace lives here, not because everything is fixed, but because I am allowed to stop striving. God, calm my racing mind. Quiet every thought that rises to steal my rest. Cover me in stillness that lingers even as I sleep. Let this quiet reach the places words cannot, the deep corners of my heart that ache for relief, for safety, for peace. The night hums softly around me. A gentle breeze brushes past the window, carrying sounds from a world that has slowed to a whisper. Even these small noises soothe me now. They are reminders that life continues beyond my fears, that rest is safe, that I am held in something steady and kind. I trust you with tonight. I trust you with tomorrow. I trust that even when I cannot see what is ahead, I can close my eyes, knowing I am not alone in the dark. This moment is enough. This stillness is enough. I am safe here. God, I notice how different the night feels now compared to when it first began. The silence that once felt heavy has softened into something steady and kind. The thoughts that used to crash like waves have become gentle currents, moving without force, passing without pulling me under. There is space here now, space to rest, space to breathe, space to simply be. I give you what remains unsettled in me. The questions that still whisper in the back of my mind, the memories that try to return when I close my eyes, the quiet ache of things I wish were different but cannot change. I place them in your care, trusting that I do not need to solve them tonight. The room around me feels like a shelter. The faint glow of moonlight softens the darkness, turning it into something safe rather than frightening. The stillness is no longer empty. It is full of quiet presence. It holds me without asking me to be more than I am. My breathing has become a rhythm I can lean on. Inhale, peace. Exhale, release. Each breath reminds me that rest is not something I have to earn. It is something I am allowed to receive. My body listens to this rhythm and begins to loosen, settling deeper into the comfort of this moment. I do not have to rehearse tomorrow in my mind. I do not have to carry every scenario, every possibility, every outcome. I can let tomorrow wait for the morning. I can let this moment be enough. God, calm my racing mind. Quiet the last pieces of noise that linger in me. Let this stillness soak into every part of me until even the hidden corners of my heart find rest. Let me sleep without fear, without striving, without the weight of what I cannot control. The night hums gently outside, soft wind against the window, distant sounds of life continuing beyond these walls. These noises no longer unsettle me. They ground me. They remind me that the world moves gently forward, and I do not need to keep up with it tonight. I am allowed to stop. I am allowed to rest. I trust that when morning comes, I will have the strength I need for what awaits me. But I do not need that strength now. I only need this, the quiet gift of rest, the steady presence that meets me in the dark and stays with me until light returns. This moment is enough. This quiet is enough.